Welcome, welcome to Evolve Magazine, where I'm your host, Robin Joy. And tonight we have a great show with some extraordinary entrepreneurs. The title of the show is BMW, Black Men Working, the Boss. But before we show the guest for tonight, let me tell you a little bit about Evolve Magazine. Evolve Magazine and the premise of the magazine is that we're always evolving, whether it's with our health, with our beauty, with our wellness, with our business, we're always evolving. That's the premise of the magazine. Always evolve, never stay stagnant. Make sure that you're always moving. And our slogan for the show and for the Evolve magazine is our blackness is gold. Without further ado, our extraordinary guest. I'm so excited about this show tonight. The guests will show up soon. Here they are. Here's one. Hi, Larry. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Evolve magazine. Hi, Justin, Andre, and Chris. Thank you all so much for coming to the second show of Evolve Magazine. And the theme of the show for tonight is BMW. Not talking about the car, I'm talking about Black men working, entrepreneurship, owning your own business, being your own boss. That's what this show is about. BMW, remember that, Black men working. And if you all don't know, I'm going to say it again. The slogan for this show, for Evolve Magazine, is Our Blackness is Gold. And every episode, we will be highlighting different people, showing the world that we are the chosen one. Our blackness is gold. Without further ado, we're going to do a round the robin. That's the format of the show. The format is going to be very informative. It's not going to, we're going to have dialogue, open dialogue conversation. We're going to laugh, and hopefully we're going to have some good conversation, and we're going to have a good, I know we're going to have a great show. So we're going to start off with Larry. If you could tell us about the name of your business and how long you've been an entrepreneur. Larry Hall. Okay, Larry, take yourself out of mute.
Sorry about
that. There you go.
I'm Larry Hall, born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. Things that I do is I'm an HVAC technician. I work on heating and air equipment, boilers, chillers, residential, commercial, those type of things for comfort cooling and comfort heating.
So how long have you been in business, Larry?
I started in 2002. I've been in business since 2006. So almost like 15 years.
Okay. Okay. And we're gonna move on to, this is gonna be a round robin format, and we're gonna move on to Justin. And Justin, you have a popular name, Mayweather. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Justin Mayweather. So yeah, as you see with the name, I guess I'm coming from a popular family, but I'm a professional fighter right now. 6-0 right now, looking to become, somewhere around 10-0 by the end of the year. And then I do other forms of entertainment as well. Yeah, I'm Justin Mayweather. So yeah, as you see with the name, I guess I'm coming from a popular family, but I'm a professional fighter right now. 6-0 right now, looking to become, somewhere around 10-0 by the end of the year. And then I do other forms of entertainment as well. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, and a question for you, Justin. How long have you been a professional boxer?
I've been a professional for about mm, like 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
5 years. And I'm going to be, the audience wants to know, so I'm going to ask the question. How long have what's the relationship between you and Floyd Mayweather?
I mean, we're fine, you know.
Are you all, is that what kin, is that a brother or cousin? What's the relationship?
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather Sr. is my father. So
Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Justin. We're
thanks,
gonna
bro.
we're gonna move on to Andre Cade. Tell us about yourself and your business, how long you've been in the business, and just tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, my name is Andre Cade. My real name is Norman. My middle name is Andre. Most people call me Andre. I'm just a jack of all trades. I've been in business since 2000. I've done landscaping. I have a cleaning service, and I buy real estate.
Okay, awesome. And the next, last but not least, is my brother Christopher Joy. So, what? Tell us about yourself and your business.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm glad to be on your show. I'm proud of you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I'm feeling the energy, and it's great. To give you a little bit background about myself. I've been in business ever since I was 19. I'm currently 51 now, so that's quite some time. One thing I can say about myself is that basically I am a businessman. I try not to get caught up into the stereotype of a man being in a business, basically meaning there's only one thing that you was put here to do on earth. So I would like to say that I'm very blessed that I've been able to be in many different businesses. And right now, I'm actually in the boxing world. That's how Justin and I have met. And right now, we're working on some real great products. And I say products because we're going to sell a service that people, once everything is all said and done, you can always revisit it. You know, when you put something together, this is more not just an event. This is going to be pretty much a legacy.
And
So, in
I
a
know that
nutshell,
you have something exciting to tell us about the um the business events that you have that's going to be taking place very soon, and we're going to get back to that. I want to ask Larry a question. Your journey. When did you tell us about your journey? How did you start? What made you decide that you were going to have your own business? How did you take us down that road of how did you get there? You know, you didn't wake up one day and did you wake up one day and say, I want to own my own business? Or, you know, we go to school to um, go to high school or go to college to get a degree or a high school diploma to work for someone else. But what made you say, hey, I want to work for myself? Give us a little glimpse of that journey.
Um, I just probably like the rest of these guys, just in a nutshell, what you said. Um, I started feeling like if I was gonna give anybody else some time, I should be able to give that time to myself. If I don't make a living, I'd rather make a living for me and not a living for someone else. Um, I had some ups and downs in life, um, trying to find a career. Um, once I learned that I was good with my hands, it just became something that I love to do. But I never really wanted to work for anybody else. It seemed it's useless to give all my energy to someone and not give it to myself.
And I like that. And the fact that you work for yourself, you set your own ceiling as far as salary and income.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and that's a plus of being an entrepreneur. I'm
Yes.
going to move on to Justin. Justin, I know that this is like a family business. I don't know if I should say business or is this is something that the family, is it a family business? Tell me about it.
It's a family skill that's within the genetics that we're in that field.
Oh, you just hit it on the head when you said that. You said it's a family skill. And that is so true. I find that when you find one family member that's good at something, more than likely you can look down that family tree and you're going to see that same skill set in someone else in the family. So you hit it on the head with that statement. It's a family skill. So when did you, I know you said you've been boxing now professionally for about, what, 6 years, you say?
About 4 or 5. Around there.
When did you decide, when did you know that you had that skill, that you was like, hey, I can box. I think I want to do this. Because a lot of times, you're probably watching your father box, and boxing is not a pretty sport. What made you feel like that you were ready to get in the ring and get some hits and throw some punches?
Well, my journey is a little bit different, my story, because I didn't grow up with my father, but I still was in athletics a lot. But I knew I could fight, just being young, just being out there, and they used to bring the gloves, so I knew I could fight then, but I didn't decide to till around like 19 to actually fight as an amateur.
Did you play any sports in school?
Yeah, I played football, I played basketball, I played all those things. I was pretty good. I actually just played out here in the tournament. Like they called me out to play in the tournament out here in California. So I still play basketball and things like that. But yeah, I decided to try it out. I just kind of decided to try it out around the time I found out who my father was. So, and I just tried it out then because I still wanted to do something athletically. And then I won a tournament in Michigan, for my home state of Michigan. And so that's how I kind of ended up here now.
Okay. And Mr. K, you said you are a jack of all trades. And one thing I know for sure, you are a visionary. And I love that about you. So just tell us about one of your businesses or several of your businesses. Tell us about the flipping of the house flipping. How did you get into that?
Well, I'm gonna touch on you asked the gentleman before what made him get into it. I've been a telephone man. I'm a telephone man. I worked for a company for 25 years, and I had an incident, a racial incident, where the young lady called me the N word, and I just wanted to destroy everybody. I was young. I just wanted to let my frustration out. I couldn't let it out on her. So I tried to let it out on the person who instigated it, but he wouldn't give me what I wanted. I'm so happy he didn't. So at the point, the company suspended me for a year. And I was living on Moonlight across you. And I came home and I basically grew up in a position, and I was like, if I lose my job, my livelihood is going to change. And my wife said, I got you, but here I am, the breadwinner. I didn't feel like a man if I couldn't provide. I was on suspension a year. So at that point, that drove me to say, hey, I'm never going to put anyone, allow them to have that much power over me again. So from then, I was mowing lawns back of my car. And so I just kept evolving different things. So now I'm currently buying real estate. I bought a Kirk building about 8 years ago. I got tenants in. I own over 4 homes. I got tenants in those. I'm currently buying more. I'm in the process of buying more. My goal is the next 2 years I like to retire and just have property along with my retirement.
Well, I don't think you're not 50 yet. So is the goal to retire by 50 or before? Andre, is your goal?
I'm 47 years old. So I just want to be in control of my life. I'm all there where I can just tell them, I don't care what you do. So I got a younger child.
One thing that I'm seeing a common thread, and it goes with the theme, BMW, Black Men Working, is that I'm the boss. And I'm hearing that being the boss is very gratifying. So I'm going to move on now to Chris Joy. Chris, I know that you said you've been a businessman. I like that title because a businessman encompasses everything, long
Yes,
as
that
it
is
is
correct.
business. And
That
I
is
love
correct.
that metaphor that you use when you said a businessman. And you've been in business for 19 years, and like Andre, you dabbled and dabbed in a lot of different businesses, but you've always been a businessman. And I know currently you graduated. Well, I'm not going to say graduated. You moved into boxing. Tell us, how did you, Chris Joy, become a promoter of boxers? Give us
Well,
tell us that journey.
well, the funny thing is, as you know, when I first got in business, I was in the custom and wheel business, tires and wheels. And so I did that for quite some time. I enjoyed what I was doing, but I always had a passion for boxing. Always had a passion for boxing. My thing or my vision was, if I'm able to do that, then pretty much that's my next journey. So the crazy thing is, after being very successful in the rim and tire industry, I decided to go to Jamaica and my goal was to be the #1 boxing promoter in a country.
What made you pick Jamaica? Why did you
Well,
pick Jamaica?
Well, what happened was I've always been fascinated about Jamaica, always loved the music, loved the culture, all those things. And as I was looking to say, okay, what's next? Jamaica just popped on my mind. The amazing thing is that once I started to pursue Jamaica, everything started lining up. I started networking with people who had great connections in Jamaica. And Jamaica really taught me who I was. It's funny because I had to leave a whole nother country just to understand who I was. So when I came back to the United States, I could deal with myself better. It's funny when you're doing things and you feel like, okay, I'm good, but it's something missing. It's something missing.
So
Jamaica
you found that missing piece of your soul?
found the missing piece. What Jamaica was able to do for me was I went to a country where I'm the immigrant. Everything I've done in the US, I could not say I've done this in the US. And like, well, it has nothing to do with what you're claiming to do now. So Jamaica gave me a fresh start, an opportunity just to prove, am I a businessman or am I a man that was just so happened to be in the business?
I love
So
that. I love that. I'm gonna coin that. I love
okay,
that.
no problem, no problem. Because you know what? See, sometimes what happens is, and I'm listening to the different people on the panel now, you understand once you become a businessman, you're not tied down to that one thing. As a businessman, you're thinking business. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking outside the box constantly. You cannot put everything in one box and expect to be the best at everything. You can't. You have to make sure that you explore yourself. And most businessmen, even though if you have someone who's doing something right now and they're doing it well, they failed at something else. They tried other things. And so when you realize where you are, failure sometimes lets you know how close you were.
Exactly. It takes
So,
failure. Sometimes you have to fall to get up.
yes,
To know
yes,
that you can get up. I have a
right.
question for Larry. Larry, it's nice having your own business, and it seems like it's a fun thing to do. Oh, I have my own business, but tell me, just give us a glimpse of when it's not so fun. Tell us something that's not so fun about owning your own business. Not that you would give it up, but something that's not so fun of being a business owner, owning your own, doing your own thing.
I can't come up with nothing.
I think I have one for you. I talked to your wife, What about those long hours, Larry?
Huh?
What about those long days and those long hours? Is that still gratifying because it's your own business?
Still gratifying.
You said still gratifying?
Yes.
Okay. What about, tell me, I know everything has not always went right. Tell me about something that went wrong that you can give someone else a tip that may be interested in heating and air. What's a tip that you can give them so they won't make the same mistake that you made during your journey?
Just can't let nobody discourage you of your drive or of your dream. It's probably like the other brother said. I came into the field and people that was trying to hold me back, trying to discourage me on what I was trying to do. That's all. You just can't let nobody discourage you on what you want to do. Like you say, some days are long, but it's still gratifying because it's my thing.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. It's your thing, and
when I want to.
And that's what I love about it. That's what this topic is all about. BMW, Black men working, being entrepreneurs, owning their own stuff and being their own boss.
Right.
I'm gonna move on to Justin. Justin, I know that you're a boxer, but what is your dream? What do you hope to accomplish from this? What's your plan? What do you see yourself?
You mean as far
as the boxing? Where do you see yourself going?
I plan on throwing big events and big fights for just the crowd at hand, and we'll just see how it goes. But that's definitely my plan, to utilize my skills to the utmost, to my ability, and with me doing that and focusing, I feel like I want to bring.
Another question for you. Now, if let's say some young boys out there that's watching the show, they 14, 15, 16, what kind of tips can you give them about getting into this business, becoming a professional boxer? What's just one tip you can give them that has kept you on this journey?
You have to be focused and disciplined. Them the two biggest things.
And those are all good points. Focus and discipline, and you can carry that across the board as far as being an entrepreneur. Focus and determined. I'm going to move on to Mr. Cade. Mr. Cade, I know you said, I'm going to say it again, you're a jack of all trades, and you started this flipping houses. Tell us some things that you might have ran into that if you knew better, you would have did better. For the next person that may come behind you, give us a tip.
I sound like we're breaking up a little bit. Am I breaking up to you guys?
No, we can hear you.
Oh,
we can hear
okay.
Did you hear the question? Did you hear the question? Did you hear the question? Okay, Andre, you're breaking up. And
yeah, I
am. Okay, Andre, I'm going to move on to Chris, and then I'm going to come back to you with that question. So, Chris, I know that you're the promoter of these fights, and I know that it's some risk there. Tell us some things, because I know a couple of them. Tell us some pitfalls or some things that you ran into that the next person coming behind you that you can warn them about when you get into this field of being a promoter, because that's a big thing.
Oh yeah, man, yes it is. I will admit, I did face a lot of challenges being a promoter. Sometimes when you're looking at things on the outside in, I looked at the business from a fan standpoint. So I looked at it as, hey, I love the sport. I want to be a part of it. But once you become the promoter, then you get a chance, you look at it the opposite way, from the inside out. And being a promoter, I'm not going to lie, it's not an easy job. It's very challenging. But the rewards at the end is far greater, though. So it's like, if you're going to get in this business, I'll tell you, it's just like you have to go hang on a cliff. And you got to hang on for dear life. You have to say, look, I'm not going to let go. Being a promoter is not an easy job. It comes with definitely financial backing, and you have to be creative. You cannot expect to watch another promoter and expect to make it just like him, because guess what? The world has already seen that guy. So you have to look at him and say, look, I admire everything that he has done, but I have something else to add that the people have not seen. And so that's how Justin and I met. We're on the same goal. See, the thing is, we're not building just boxing. we're looking at how do you create a life outside of boxing as well. So once he retired, he understands as well as I understand now, boxing is what he's doing. But who is he? He's still a businessman. So when he has to go to that other transition, he can make that transition because he's a businessman.
And
So I
that's
would
one
say,
thing I like about what you're doing, Chris, is that when you have these boxers, you're teaching them it's life after the sport.
yes, yes, definitely.
Because what are you going to fall back on? And I know a lot of these professional athletes, they just live for the moment, and when it's time to move on or to retire, they have nothing to show for it. So I'm going to open it up. Audience, if we have anyone watching tonight, please ask the panel questions. We're open for all your questions. The email, you should see my email at the bottom of the podcast. And if you have any questions, shoot the questions to us. We're open. And also, if you can think of a great show, send it to me. Let me know. We'd love to have you on. I'm going to go back to Mr. Cade. Mr. Cade, we didn't hear you before. So the question was, give us some tips, we know that you flip houses and that you have commercial property that you for your cleaning service. What kind of pitfalls did you run into?
Well, when it comes to housing, I'll tell you my passion right now. Just to unforeseen, you got all these people out here talking about you do with no money down. I would recommend people to, save your money, have a vision, and then go after all that no money down stuff. It just puts you so far behind trying to keep borrowing. You're gonna have to sacrifice a number of years, get your money right, and then just get your first one. From the first one on, if you own just one, it gives you a leverage on the rest. But if I had to give any advice, just save your money, know what your vision is, and work towards the vision, and don't let nobody derail you.
Yeah. So I'm hearing the common thread is determination. Hold on tight. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Keep moving forward. So I think Larry had to leave. I said, okay, there he is. I thought you had left us, Larry. A question, I'm going to do it again. This is a round robin conversation, very informal. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them on the chat, and we'll make sure that the panel responds. With Larry, I know the gratifying thing is owning your own business and being your own boss. Is there anything else about being an entrepreneur that is gratifying that you can think of? Can you hear me? Larry, can you hear me? Okay, I think Larry's trying to work with some technology right now. I'm going to move on to Justin. Justin, I'm going back to that family name. So that Mayweather, and that is known all over the world. And now here you are following in your father's footsteps. What is one thing what legacy do you want to leave for yourself? And do you have any, I'm going to ask you a personal question. Do you have any kids?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So what do you want to leave for your legacy?
Nobody.
Well, I just want to set myself up for financial freedom through passive income. So that's
I love that. Financial freedom. I'm picking up a lot of good nuggets here tonight. Financial freedom. I think that's what we all want. And just to see you Black men with entrepreneurship, I'm hoping that other Black men would look at this this show and say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it, because you four are ordinary men that's doing some extraordinary things. And I'm going to move it on to Andre. Andre, tell me, I know it's gratifying having your own thing, making your own money, but what else can you say about owning your own business?
There's a lesson you can pass on to your children.
That's all
Once
right.
you get to understand how money works, most people don't understand how money works. And once you begin to understand how money works, you can be a lot more successful with money. Money operates in one way, and most people don't understand how it operates. So I just want to pass that on to my children and pass on
What's
to
the tip?
generations.
What's the tip? Well, Andre, tell us how does money work?
It works in a number of ways. Most people think it's all about having money in the bank. Me personally, I might have, I don't know, $10,000, $15,000. But if I need 200, 300, I have it really accessible. So for me, it's not about how much money you have. I have assets, and I have money accessible to me. For me, it's about whatever I need, and I have it. For the most part, I can. I'm not rich, but for the most part, I can. But I only have probably about 15,000 at most to I need in the bank. But I assets are, I don't know, a million or more. But to me, it's just when you need money, can you get it?
Yeah, that's
It really is.
so it's being able to liquidate when you need to, have it accessible when you need it. And that goes far. I'm going to move on to Chris. Chris, I know with the promoting and being a businessman and not having a business, give us some tips because you've been in it a long time. I mean, you've been in it since you was 19 and now you're 50. I know you have several lessons learned. Just like let's say if I wanted you to mentor a 15 or 16-year-old, what are some things that you can tell him or show him so he won't make some of the same mistakes?
Well, I would first say pick your friends wisely because it's a known fact that if you want to know how you're going to be, keep looking at your friends and you soon will be them, good or bad. Good or bad. I realize that in business and in life as a whole, it's really not about the money. It's really about the connections that you have. And those connections is priceless. See, people, they're chasing the money, but you may chase that money and never be happy. You see what I'm saying? The misconception is I want to own my own business. I want to have this money. Once I have this money, I'm going to be happy. That's not how it works. The simplest way to explain is this: money only give you options. And what you decide to do with those options normally determine your happiness and not the other way around. People think, well, if I have $1 million, I'm happy. Well, if you have 3 million, that means you're supposed to be 3 times as happy. And that in most cases, that's not the case. And so if you want to build something, build yourself first. Build your inner self first. Love yourself. And once you get tired of loving yourself, fall in love with yourself. The only way that I can help anybody, I have to fall in love with myself first because I can't give something that I don't have. And so that would be the first thing I would tell anybody. Love yourself first.
Okay,
And
I
take
love
that
that.
love into everything you do.
I love that. And Larry, I think you were trying to work with your technology. What is it that you could tell someone to say, hey, I want to shadow you? And I know for a fact, Larry, you have a lot of people that shadow you. You reach back into the community and you pull people up. I've seen it with my own eyes. So tell me what's some things that you tell to your sidekick when you have your helper with you? What are some things that you show him?
I just about like what everybody else said. I just try to show people that you you can be whatever you want to be. Whatever you put in it is what you're gonna get out of it. I can agree with other guys about the money. Just don't let money make you. You know what I mean? I had to get out of there too, chasing money. If you do what's right and you put in the work, money will follow you wherever you go. You just have to stay focused and grounded. If I had some young guys, I would tell them college isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? A 4-year degree is not for everybody. You got guys out here working with their hands, making 6 figures, making over 6 figures, building houses, flipping houses, cutting grass. It's many ways to make money, and just like they say, you have to touch different things. And just be inspired by other people. And like Chris say, watch your company. Watch who you keep around you. If people is not driving you to be better, then those are the people that you need to get out of your circle. I've been inspired tonight. I think I'm gonna go buy me a house within the next year or so.
Well, I'm hoping that this podcast, that's the purpose of this show. That's the whole premise of the show, to be very inspirational,
Yeah.
to be uplifting, and to give people hope. We had a great show last week, and this show tonight I'm so excited about, and I'm sure that you guys are making an impression on people that you don't even know. And one thing I want to add to that, it's not college, it's not for everyone. And I remember someone telling me this. A students work for B students, that C students tell what to do.
That's right.
So it's not all about the grades. It's about, and if you work for a company, I work for a company. Work for a company, you'll never be a millionaire because they set your salary. But working for yourself, the sky is the limit. And what you said, Larry, is what you put in it. It's what you put in it is what you get out.
That's right.
What kind of energy you give yourself, you give your business, is what you're going to get out. And one thing about you 4 men that I am proud of, being a Black woman, I love to see Black men succeed. I love it. And you all are doing an awesome job, and you're an inspiration to young Black men. And I hope that each one of you will reach back and pull someone, which I know you all do. I know everyone on the panel, but Justin. And I know that each one of you pull people up with you. You're not the kind of men that just want it for yourself. You don't mind sharing information, and that therefore you all are on this panel to share the information that you all know. We're going to do something fun because we're getting ready to end the show. So I know you all are hard-working Black men. I want to hear, what do you do for fun? How do you release? We're going to start with you, Christopher Joy.
All right. Well, I was hoping I was going to be last. I'll tell you what, it was very simple. I love to travel. I love to go to a place I've never been, to see people I've never seen, and to learn something from them. Every time that I have traveled, I can always come back with a sense of being. People say America has its good and bad, but you don't know until you travel. So what I love to do, I love to travel, because every time I come back, I become a better me. That's what I love to do.
I love it. And you just gave me another question. I'm not going to end it right now because you just gave me a question. Okay, Andre, what do you like doing for fun? How do you release?
Touch on one thing before I get there. If any young guys that watch it, work around. So you have to cherish the people that work with you. If you don't do that, you will fail every time. When I do the release, I just love being around my family. My birthday is next week. I always throw a cookout. I try to give back. I just like being around the people that made who I am.
Love it. And Larry, what about you? How do you release?
Um, like the other guys, I'm like Chris. I'm like Dre. I love to travel and I love family. I love traveling the most because when I leave town, I can break. It's not very often that I get to break. Sometimes when I leave and travel, I'm still working. I just love getting away, love being with family and friends, and yeah, that's about it.
And Justin, what do you do? How do you like to release?
I love traveling, basketball, food, beautiful people. Just
And the question that came to mind is, you all are Black men, and you say you're all business owners, or you're doing your own thing. You're self-sufficient. You're making your own money. You're not going to corporate America every day punching a clock from 9 to 5. You're making your own journey. I know that what have you ran into as being a Black business man? I'm not going to say owner. I'm saying a Black business man. I'm stealing from you, Chris.
You know what? Now I want to start off with that one.
Yeah, go.
Give me that one.
Let's hear it.
Now I'm about to let out one thing. Let me tell you what. And I want to say this to everybody, and I know I can speak for every man of color that's on this podium with me. When you are a businessman in the United States, in most cases, you spend 30% of your time explaining to people why you're qualified to do what you're able to do, instead of spending that 30% of the time doing what you're able to do. And I'm going to say this, and I know I speak for everyone that's on this panel, because what happens is this: that's 30% of your day that you don't get paid for. That's 30% of your day that you have to qualify just to get able to have an opportunity to do what you do. And I say that's one thing that needs to change. Let us do what we do. If something goes wrong, then you complain. But at least give us the benefit of the doubt, and we should not have to take 30% of our day to explain to people why we're qualified to do what we're able to do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And Andre, what have you ran into being a Black businessman from America?
Being young and Black, you already have a mark against you. So most people you qualified or knowledgeable. So a lot of times you're not even given a chance because of your color. So it's like I have to go above and beyond to show people. Like, for example, and not just say from other races. I'm dealing with a contractor now. I try to patronize mostly Black contractors, but I patronize everyone. It's about the man. It's not about the color. And sometimes we get put in a category. Oh, it's just when you're dealing with our own. Oh, he's Black. You should accept this. He's cool. It's not a great neighborhood, and it just shouldn't be like that. So I'm running into that now with a guy that's refinishing some floors. So it's hard to deal with just people, period, when it comes to stuff like that when you're Black.
And Larry, what kind of things have you encountered being a Black businessman in America? Larry, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think Larry can hear me. He's working with some technology. I'm gonna go with Justin. Justin, you got that famous name behind you. Mm-hmm. So have you ran into any pitfalls or people saying, hey, he's not his father? What have you encountered being a Black man in America, being a boxer?
I mean, I'm not my father, so that's not really a thing for me. So that's pretty cool.
I
You know,
can't hear nothing.
So it's just really negotiations. You know, things change as far as like negotiations go once they find out who I am. Before, like if we're just gonna do like if we're just gonna do a fight, you know, it's just gonna be like a certain person. Like if they didn't know it was me, you know, the purses could be like negotiated differently. I can get more money or less money depending on the, you know, promoters and stuff like that. Just little stuff like that happen. So,
We have a question that came in, and it says, how do you deal with the naysayers, especially in your family?
I don't.
You don't? And what about you, Chris? That's a question that someone asked from the audience.
Well, you know, I really don't, and I'm based on the same thing with Justin. See, the thing is this: things come, things go, but you know what? The truth always have a way of coming out. It doesn't matter what it is, and if you're focused on where you're going, you realize you're going to always have those speed bumps along the way. So if you just keep your focus on where you're going, everything's going to make a full circle. So when you begin to listen to them, now keep in mind, don't be ignorant from it. But
Right.
it's almost like if you're driving a car, your windshield is huge. The rear view mirror is very small. So you can glance at it, but keep in mind, you're still moving forward. So most of your energy has to be moving forward, but just be aware of your surroundings.
Right.
So that's how you you push off the naysayers. You say, hey, I'm looking through the windshield. I'm not looking through the rear view mirror.
Right. I just glanced at that. I just glanced at
got
that.
you.
Guess what? When you going as fast as I'm going, because I like fast cars, you don't have time to be looking back. You better keep your eyes forward, you know?
I hear you. And Andre, what about you with the naysayers? People say, who is he? He think he can do this, and that. He can be a jack of all trades and be successful. What do you do about the naysayers?
I'm very competitive, so I play sports on a high level. They drive me. They drive me. They put that battery in my back, as they say. So when someone say I can't, I say, oh, I'll show them. And then in time, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I will show them. So that they drive me. I thank them. Thank you so much.
Okay, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, for being on this panel, for being Black men working, being your own boss, showing others that they can be entrepreneurs, that it doesn't take a lot of money to get started. It takes determination. It takes staying focused. It takes being who you are. And I want to thank you all for being the extraordinary men that you are. And I, for one, am very proud of each and every one of you. And as a community, we love to see this. We love to see BMWs, not just on the street. We like to see y'all working.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. And the slogan is, our blackness is gold. Thank you all so much.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Y'all
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Today's submission from Pfizer is a major step toward providing a booster shot for any American adult who wants one.